what have I just heard?
We don't have to rely on rumours anymore.
Well, Barcelona turned out to be a little bit interesting after all. After 55 laps of boredom, we got a late safety car, which gave us a little bit of spice to jazz things up, and quite a lot of things to talk about out of 6 laps at the end. We're going to be talking all about Max Verstappen and George Russell at the end of this episode, so stay tuned. But first, we do have to talk about my driver of the day, who should have actually been awarded driver of the day. Any of the guesses?
My driver.
Any guesses who my driver of the day would have been?
Lando Norris. Oh, microphone. Lando Norris.
No, Nico Hulkenberg.
You don't like him?
I don't like him. I don't not like him.
You just said I don't like him.
He dragged that tractor of a Kick-Sauber from P15.
You're not really a Lando Norris fan then, are you?
I am a Lando Norris fan.
No, you didn't back him for driver of the day.
It's not about backing him for driver of the day. He wasn't driver of the day. He lost places at the start of the race.
Well, you're not good. You're not a good supporter.
You're not a good F1 fan if you just root for say your driver's the best, even if they were the worst.
I think we do need some like tribality in F1, like in football.
What, they just think they're the best no matter what?
Yeah, you just have like some Donny, and you just live or die.
Well, like your whole day's ruined if they lose.
Die hard fans.
Yeah, Ferrari fans are a bit like that sometimes.
Exactly.
But you can acknowledge that other drivers did a good job.
Good job, Hulky.
Good job, Hulky. Dragging that tractor from P15 all the way up to P5.
And Aldi gave him a special mention.
Aldi gave him a special mention on their Instagram, which they haven't mentioned anything.
The first post in a while.
Yeah, and it's his Audi branding on his race suit, which I did find quite funny. But yeah, I didn't realise, I knew at the start he'd made up like 5 places, and then I didn't quite realise where he was until after the safety car restart, when the commentators were like, oh, Hulkenberg's putting pressure on Hamilton, and I genuinely thought my brain was having an aneurysm, because I was like, what have I just heard? Nico Hulkenberg's behind Hamilton, and then he overtook him. I was like, what the heck is going on? Good one, Nico. Bad one, Lewis. Lewis is having a bad time, but we'll talk about him in a minute.
Subscribe now, or Darth Toto will come for you.
Nico Hulkenberg got 10 points on this race. 2 juicy stats for you. Firstly, Sauber are now not 10th, they're now 8th above Aston Martin and Alpine.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. And my favourite stat of the weekend, Nico Hulkenberg scored more points in that race than the second seat of Red Bull has the entire season.
Say that again.
So Nico Hulkenberg scored 10 points at Barcelona, which is more points than the second seat at Red Bull has scored the whole season, which is 7 points.
It's not surprising.
No, but it's juicy, isn't it?
Not at this point.
No, expected.
I think they stopped being juicy after they sacked Liam.
Yeah, maybe.
If they want to make it more juicy, they can sack Yuki and put Hadjar in there.
You know they might, because Yuki's also got more points than Red Bull.
They won't. They've had enough drama for 1 year.
I actually don't want Hadjar to go in that seat because I like him, and I don't want him to suffer the same fate as Yuki and Liam have suffered at the hands of Red Bull.
Well,
personally,
we shall see.
We shall see. But yeah, let's talk about McLaren next, because
we have to talk about McLaren.
Yes, because I'm disappointed.
Always talk about McLaren.
I know, but I'm disappointed.
Okay,
they got 1-2. They started 1-2, they finished 1-2. How the heck have we not had an on-track fight between those two yet? What is going on? It's not acceptable.
Papaya rules.
That is my conspiracy theory, because even when the safety car brought them back together, safety car finishes and off they go. I didn't see Lando challenge Oscar at all. I think there's a bit of papaya rules going on underneath the surface that they're not talking about.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, that's why I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm agreeing with you.
In lots of words. I'm being rude.
Teacher mode, sorry.
Yeah. What's new?
What's new? But I just thought we might see them actually wheel-to-wheel race.
No.
But now I'm like, maybe it's not going to happen the whole
They did that last season.
Not really.
Not really.
When did they race last season?
Not really. What do you mean?
A couple of
There was
times.
all the controversy towards the end of them, like
Times.
not the whole monologue of Lando being coached to let Oscar through.
Yeah, but that wasn't wheel-to-wheel racing. That was let Oscar through.
No, but they've never done wheel-to-wheel racing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, but we won't see it. And there's a technical reason why.
Why?
Because the McLaren doesn't work well in dirty air.
Right, so whoever's behind will always stay further behind.
Yeah, and whoever's in front will gain a massive lead because it's a good car when it's in clean air.
Yeah, true. I'm just disappointed because I just thought we might actually see some good wheel-to-wheel racing.
Midfield, that's where you see good battles.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where the things happen.
Yeah.
Apart from if you're Lewis at Monaco and you leave a 45-minute gap.
45 minutes.
Second.
45 minutes.
Second gap.
Yeah, 45-second gap. Not good. Yeah, Hamilton's just not good.
He's a bit as exasperated about being asked what the matter is.
He's sad. Have you seen the clips of him after Barcelona just sat in the car?
Well, I saw one of him saying almost like, "What do you want me to say?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I guess everyone wants to know what's happened to Lewis Hamilton, and Lewis Hamilton doesn't know or doesn't want to reveal.
I think everybody was so excited to see him go to Ferrari, and like everyone was kind of like living the dream of maybe he'll come and like win the next world championship for Ferrari and be amazing, and obviously not happened.
I think what happens is drivers mature a bit. They mellow out and they become too... Like, I was watching some footage the other day of Lewis, like, back in the day when he was having, like, spats at Rosberg about, like, team orders and da-da-da, this is what we were meant to do, and just, like, ignoring them and doing naughty things. And having Niki Lauda like put him into his office and be like, why did you do that?
So maybe as you age, you mellow out and you lose that fire.
Yeah, I think you lose the edge and the edge to win amongst everything else.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what your team orders, whatever. Like, and that's what, unfortunately, I feel like McLaren have put out a little bit in Lando. Like, we saw that in Lando towards the end of last season. Like, I want to win this thing no matter what, even if it means ignoring team orders.
Yeah. And then McLaren squashed it.
And then it's been squashed a bit, but Lando's finding his place with it. But yeah, I think there's not an old driver on that grid who I think is like in there fighting like they did, if they're really honest with themselves, like they did when they first joined the sport.
Yeah.
When they first started winning races.
Yeah.
There's not the same fire within them.
Yeah.
To really win above all else, no matter what.
Yeah. Which is a shame. I think it's a shame when drivers keep going and then the last things you remember of them is like them being a bit rubbish towards the back.
It's kind of just how it happens, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sports people don't age. Wow.
They don't want to quit until they have to quit because they're no good anymore.
Yeah. Tell me a sports person who has like finished top of their game.
There was one driver, I can't remember who it was though, recently who won a championship and then was like, I'll quit now. Can't remember who it was.
Quit one on the head.
Yeah. Can't remember who it was.
Probably years ago.
We'll get the editor to put what it was.
Yeah. Do what you want to do. Get your money. Go home.
Yeah. Leave on a high. I'm the world championship.
A lot of these guys are in the sport because they like racing.
Yeah.
Not because they want to win. They just like being part of Formula One.
They do want to win, but yeah, that's true.
They do want to win. They kind of. I think some of them just like the rigmarole of it.
Yeah.
And like the racing in the car.
And I suppose like these drivers have been karting since they were like 4 or 5. This has been their whole life.
I understand.
So it's a bit of like, what would you do afterwards anyway? So you might as well just carry on.
I understand that. But I think unfortunately, unlike football, where if you're falling on the ground, there's 20,000 other people wanting your spot. There's not the throughput and the pressure to perform like in other sports. Like in football, if you start wearing and underperforming and you're in top teams, you're getting kicked off. Bye.
Yeah.
Let's get some young blood in. In F1,
there's less of the young blood.
There's
lots of drivers who want to drive.
No, but there's not the culture of pushing people out who are underperforming and bringing people in.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
talk of people who are underperforming.
Yes, good segue.
Did you notice someone missing from this race?
Yeah,
we only had 19
He's
cars.
not underperforming compared to his teammate, who is Champione.
Yeah,
Fernando.
Lance Stroll.
Yeah,
hurt his hand.
Existing injury. Yeah.
Existing injury from 2023. Needs surgery. Have you heard the rumours? I now cannot guarantee that these rumours are correct, but have you heard the rumours as to why he suddenly had to pull out in between qualifying and the race? Why his hand suddenly started hurting?
Are you trying to insinuate that his hand wasn't really hurting?
No, there are rumours that he was a bit cross after qualifying in the garage.
But he's always cross.
And might have expressed his crossness physically and hurt his hand.
Or like punched a wall.
Something like that.
Okay.
That's just hearsay. Don't get me from defamation. I've just heard the rumours. We've seen him hit out before. Spreading rumours.
Some rumours there,
Yeah.
Bethan. Hopefully you never meet him.
No, I don't think I will. But his teammate got a point. First point for Alonso this year.
Alonso.
1 point.
Un point.
Un point.
In his home Grand Prix, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Might as well.
Get a point. Williams had a bit of a nightmare. Alex Albon in particular.
Well, that's what you get.
That's what you get for crashing.
No, that's what you get for doing douche stuff at your previous race. Bit of karma.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, karma for Monaco.
Yeah, a bit of karma from Monaco.
There we go. A bit karma for Monaco. Get
We'll
bashed into
bit
twice.
Of karma from Monaco. Anyone take
Bit of karma.
Bit of karma. Sounds like you're ordering that from the curry house.
I'll have a bit of karma, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So Alex bumped twice, retired the car. That was a bit funny though, because he was coming in the pits to retire the car, then received the 10-second penalty. So he was like, I'll just serve that, come back out for a lap and then retire the car.
Yeah, that would have been a tactical decision.
It was, because otherwise he'd have got it for the Canadian Grand Prix. So, and then Sainz did not get points for the first time in his home race in like 9 races or something. So,
well, he did choose to go to Williams. Well, it could have been a Mercedes and been in the top 10 at least.
Maybe. We'll never know.
It's his choice, mate.
We'll never know. All right, let's talk about it then. Let's talk about Verstappen. Let's talk about George.
No, not Verstappen.
Obviously, everybody is putting their 2 pence about what went on with Max and George.
You don't really have to anymore.
What do you mean?
You don't have to rely on rumours anymore.
No, because he said...
kind of come out and basically said it.
Basically said he did it. Yeah.
Did what? You haven't explained to the people who watch an F1 channel who have not watched F1.
Well, let's talk all about Max's restart after the safety car, because the safety car comes out.
That is what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. Safety car comes out. Everybody pits for softs. Max pits. Comes out of the pits. His radio message was hilarious. What tyres are these? JP goes, those would be the hard tyres, Max. Why have we put these tyres on? So you knew it was going to be good from that point on. And you were proved wrong, because you were like, hard tyres won't change anything. But it did. They didn't heat up on time. Max had a big snap, gets overtaken by Charles. They have a little bump, but it's fine.
Charles.
Yeah, Charles. Charles, whatever. And then George comes through. They have a bit more of a bump. Max goes off the track, rejoins the track.
Yeah.
Red Bull team come on the radio and say, yeah, you need to give that place back. Max because they think they're going to get a penalty
for
leaving the track and getting an advantage.
Correct.
Max is fuming at this, raging on the radio. I didn't think he was going to give the place back. He slows down to give it back and then crashes into George.
Beam, boom, bam. Schmack, bam, boom.
Most people are assuming intentionally, and given his statement, not apologising, I might add, just sort of saying it was wrong.
I think Max wouldn't apologise.
No, I don't think he would apologise.
Even if he had a gun to his head, he wouldn't.
True.
Can't say that word on YouTube.
Oh, okay. But yeah, bit naughty, bit old school Max.
For me, this in a way is not dissimilar from how George reacted in Monaco.
Yeah.
Obviously, Max has hit someone.
Yeah.
But I think the level of the frustration is like George's level of frustration for him to just basically overtake.
Yeah, but George
by driving straight through off the track.
But
and
he was never going to hit someone.
He could have.
But he wasn't, because the time was so big that he went straight through.
It's that overboiling of.
Yeah, I get it's the pressure and this is the frustration, but
it's not
quite
pressure.
Dangerous.
I don't think Max has ever felt under pressure.
No, but it's dangerous what Max did, if he did that intentionally.
Dangerous.
Do you think it was a controlled crash?
I would say crashing is pretty safe in F1 nowadays. Unless
yeah, but
you're
there's
Daniel
always
Ricciardo.
an element of risk.
No.
You shouldn't put yourself into unnecessary harm.
Why? It's boring. Imagine if no one ever crashed again in F1.
Yeah, but
it'd be dead
for it to
boring.
be an intense
You what? After Monaco last week, you watched
Indy 500.
Indy 500, and you were like, it was great. There's fires, people crashed into their own pit crew.
For shame. I know, true.
It brings a bit of. That's why people like go-karting and dodgems is more like.
And if that hadn't have happened, we would be sitting here saying that was a bit boring.
That was dull. We just went around the track, and
so Max
it was another like qualifying track.
True.
So a bit of hokey pokey.
I still think it was wrong.
Well, yeah, technically it was wrong.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who were gagging last year for someone to just drive into Max.
True. I do think, though, his post-race interviews, you could tell he was still so mad.
Of course you are.
My favourite one was when they said, because he was like, I just want to talk about the race as a whole. So she said, but you got a 10-second penalty and this has really damaged your championship hopes. And he was just like, well, the car's not quick enough anyway. Throw your toys out with the pram.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what these interviewers want.
No.
I'm just saying they're trying to poke the bear to get a response.
They are, and you could see that he's fuming.
And they've literally just come out of the car.
Yeah.
And they're like, on the way there, their media person is being like, this is the line that we're going to say.
Yeah, true. True.
And they got all these like thoughts and feelings rushing through their head, which they're trying to restrict themselves from saying.
Yeah.
I bet they, after the media pen, go back to their rooms and just scream and shout at the wall.
Probably, yeah.
Well, if they won the race, they'd probably have a good time.
Yeah. My favourite comment, because they asked all the drivers for comments, and the drivers didn't really want to comment anything, did they? But in the cool-down room, Lando, and when they saw what happened between the drivers, they obviously hadn't seen it, saw what happened, and Lando, they're all silent, and Lando just goes,
it's like Mario Kart.
I've done that before. Pause. In Mario Kart.
But
that pause was just brilliant, because you could see Charles and Oscar going, what? So very well timed, Lando. But yeah, Red Bull had a bit of a nightmare anyway. I mean,
only towards the end of the race.
Also, after Max's third stop, because he did a 3-stop strategy before after the safety car. After Max's third stop, Yuki was coming past as Max came out of the pits, and Yuki overtook Max. What was going on there? And then Max had to re-overtake him. Like, it's a joke. Tell Yuki to move out of the way.
He would have said, I didn't want to lose speed.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
It's basic things.
Basics.
I don't think we gave enough credit to Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
Is that the first podium in 1,000 years?
He got a podium in Monaco.
1,000? Yeah, okay, Monaco. Okay, 2 in a row.
And so 2 in a row. But yeah, he really took advantage of Max's, because Max had that snap and Charles was just there.
That's what you got to be. That's usually where George is.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Picking up third. So well done, Charles. Keep up the good work.
Well done, Sean.
Ferrari are now second in the
Darth
championship.
Fred on the radio.
No.
You can do this.
No. We
Charles.
almost had
Do this,
Darth
you can
Toto,
do
though,
this,
because
Charles.
he said, what did he say? It wasn't Focus George. He said something else. What did he say? It was something
George,
like that.
relax.
I was like, we
You can
almost
do
had
this.
Darth Toto back.
You can
Can't
do
remember
this,
what he
George.
said. No, it was a one-liner, but it wasn't Focus. It was something along that lines. But again, I'll put it up there if I find it. The editor finds it. So, yeah. Overall, bit spicy. We've got a 2-week break now to digest it before we go to Canada.
Good.
Will Lance Stroll
I
back?
love Montreal.
Yeah.
Please let there be rain.
Let there be rain.
Let there be ice skating.
Yeah.
Let them destroy all their cars.
Yeah.
Smashy. Let Ferrari have awful tyre strategies.
Nah, Ferrari are good on their strategy now. It'll be Red Bull that has the awful
You not
tyre
remember
strategy. Yeah.
last year with Leclerc going on slicks,
Yeah. I forgot about that.
basically ice skating
Yeah.
around the track. And then
Yeah.
I think he smashed it into the wall. I
Yeah.
can't remember. But yeah, I love a bit of Montre.
Yeah. It will be good.
Montreal.
And you can actually overtake. It's always good.
Maybe Charles feels like second home. The French-speaking side of Canada.
Maybe.
Maybe
Maybe we should eat some Tim Hortons during the race. Just to feel Canadian.
Maybe we should do that.
Anyway, we hope you enjoy the 2-week break. We will be back to talk all things Canada next week. What?
Oh yeah, Prix.
Prix.
I was like, how are we?
We're going to talk about it before it happens.
How are we going to talk about it if it hasn't happened in 2 weeks' time?
Yes. And on that note, goodbye.